Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling, your ultimate destination for all things AEW and WWE. Whether you're a hardcore wrestling fanatic or just a casual viewer, we've got you covered with the latest news, in depth show reviews, and our unfiltered opinions on everything happening in the world of professional wrestling. Join us as we dive into the high octane action, dramatic storylines, and backstage buzz of AEW and WWE. Get ready to step into the ring with us and stay on top of the wrestling world. This is Top Tier Wrestling. Welcome to the Top Tier Wrestling Podcast, your bronies. I'm your host, the best in the business, CM Dawn, joined as always by the Yeet Man himself, Josh Uso. We're here to cover
Yeet.
Saturday night main event, Yeet, for November 1st. So, let's get into it.
4 letters, 2 words, top tier. Yeet. Oh, maybe I didn't quite do that
Yeet.
right. Maybe that's why Jay is the oos. But
It's, it
yep.
was
We're
something like that. It was close. It was close, Oos.
it was close. We are covering Saturday night's main event, which we had stopped doing because they had sucked ass, but we had some hope that this one might be good, and we were not disappointed.
Yeah.
Um, it is being brought to us from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I don't know if folks get a chance to watch this. They tried to sell us Utah in the making of this production. There were
Yeah.
so many little vignettes about Utah. I'm like, what are you trying to get me to buy from Utah? Like
Utah.
Utah itself? You want me to
Like,
move to Utah?
come live in Utah. And I'm like, well, hang on.
Yeah.
Calm
But
down.
they were well pleased with Utah, it seems.
Yeah.
Um, but we do end up getting right into the action with the opening being Cody Rhodes' theme, "Adrenaline in my soul," and
Audition Cody Roach.
it's true. It's so
Yeah.
true. And he makes
Bars.
his way to the ring, and the crowd explodes
Yeah.
for Cody Rhodes. And then we have Drew McIntyre, biggity bacon bits.
Yeah, and his infamous Biggity Bacon Bit song. Uh a classic. Probably one of the best
Classic.
songs in wrestling history. I'm just saying. Probably one of the best.
I gotta admit, I was a little surprised that this was the opening match, but
Me
we are
too. Yeah.
starting out with the undisputed WWE Championship on the line. And let's see, I believe we were talking to each other and we had predicted that this would be Cody retaining.
Absolutely.
Um, and what
Uh
were your thoughts about this particular rematch?
well, while it was not as full of surprises and twists and turns as I had hoped, it still pretty much ended the way that eventually, or the way that both you and I assumed it would end. I was hoping for more of a heel turn from Cody because they had been giving us little tidbits of Cody kind of doing some shady shit. And I thought that would continue in this match. However, what they determined was a contention. The issue that the commentators had, that um some of the audience members had, was apparently the fact that the belt was used at all. So uh we know that the belt was introduced by McIntyre um whenever the ref was out. And so I mean he intended to use the belt the way Cody had been using the belt on him. It didn't work out in his favor, and he ended up getting essentially a DDT on the belt. Cody lined it up nice and proper,
Yeah,
and and smacked his little head into the belt, and apparently that was the big dark move or moment for the
Mm,
current champion. For me, that's not a point of contention. That is a weapon that was brought into the match by the heel, and it got used against the heel. That happens all the
yeah,
time in WWE matches, and in in other promotions as well, but I mean it happens a lot in WWE, so nothing
yeah,
surprising here. um was the match bad? No, it was a good match. um that's what I can say about it. It was a good opener. No, it was not very twisty and turny. No, it was not full of surprises. And what they
no,
considered a point of contention, I didn't see one there. But overall, it was a good match. I'm just tired of Drew jobbing now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. You and I are of like mind.
just like I feel that CM Punk's days are numbered when it comes to whether or not he holds a belt. See, Drew ain't getting any younger, and we all know what WWE does with their older talents. Uh, so I'm needing something to happen here with him, and not only that, but he is well fucking deserving of it. This dude is an action figure in human form. Um, he should be covered in belts. So yeah, but
Yeah,
overall, good opener. Surprising opener, but a good one nonetheless. And I just wish that McIntyre would get his moment in the sun before it sets.
yeah. My thoughts are relatively similar. It was a good match between them. We predicted that Drew wasn't going to win though, and we were right.
Yeah,
Um, and I agree with you. Like they had been kind of hinting at like Cody doing like some shady stuff, but then the finish to this match wasn't shady at all. Though they tried the announcers trying to paint what our eyeballs don't see just doesn't ever work for me.
yeah,
Um, it was another case of the more heel of the two goes out and gets the foreign object, and then it gets used against him, called the heel catching his just desserts. And we're supposed to be like, oh, that was extra super shady of Cody Rhodes. It wasn't, though. It really
no,
wasn't. I mean,
nuh-uh.
like, he wasn't trying to necessarily use the belt. Drew McIntyre still had it in his hand when he got DDT'd with it. Like, it was clearly in Drew's possession. So it was not, if the intention was to paint Cody as heelish for DDTing Drew, who was going to hit him with the belt onto the belt, then it did not succeed at that.
No,
And I'm with you. I feel if I was disappointed at anything in this match, is that there was some more intriguing storylines they could have chosen to pursue here, and they seemingly didn't, or they've delayed until later to do it. Um, so while this was a solid match between Drew and Cody, it was another matchup between Drew and Cody where Drew doesn't win. And so I have it in my notes here. I'm in total agreement. You know, I wrote one day Drew will get the title, but I guess not today.
yeah,
And so good enough match, solid opener, but had zero twist or turn. Like didn't even really advance the story. Like I was hoping, you know, they gave us that unique stipulation of like, you know, Cody has a chance to lose if he gets disqualified, and that
yeah.
didn't really seem to do anything for the match. Like it made
No,
no fucking difference
it made it
outside
kind
of
of awkward actually in the beginning because
yeah,
it made Drew do some cheesy shit like yelling at him about "Come on, snap," and it's like, bro,
yeah, or delay tactics where Drew is hanging out outside the ring trying to invite Cody to come outside because he's trying to trick him into a ring out,
yeah, and that
or
was
a count
dumb.
out, and that didn't go anywhere either. So like it was a whole bunch of didn't go anywhere,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Even though the match itself was good enough. Fortunately,
yeah,
that
agree.
that isn't how I feel the rest of this special PLE, I think it's just a special, not a PLE, went. Um, but yeah, the champion is still Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. No, not even a peep out of Jacob Fatu or anything. So the mystery persists. Who attacked Jacob, and will Drew ever do anything but job to whoever's wearing the belt? We're still waiting to find out.
Inquiring minds.
Yep. But there isn't. It's going to go pretty much match to match because outside of advertising Utah to us, and like, of course, the video packages that sort of refresh us to the feud that leads into a particular match or the story,
Yeah.
it
The
really
famous
is
people.
match to match. Our next match is Tiffany Stratton defending her women's championship against
Oh,
Jade Cargill. Now, there was a brief interlude where Nick Aldis asked Tiffany if she's truly physically and mentally ready to compete tonight because she had been hurt on, I want to say, SmackDown,
yeah, I think
because
so.
Jade Cargill kicked her
Oh,
leg.
Raw
Uh,
or something like that.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
one of those shows. I don't remember exactly which now, but
Right. Right.
so she's still nursing that injury, and she's like, "No, I'm a fighting champion. I'm ready." Grr.
Yeah.
So
I that kind of got on my nerves. Like, we get it. She got injured. You guys don't have to keep fucking beating that into our heads. Oh, if Jade wins, the only reason she won is because Tiffany was injured. She went after an already injured opponent. Like, they just kept beating that into our heads, and that got on my
yeah,
fucking nerves. 'Cause I'm like, can we not downplay this woman's victory if she wins? Um, but aside from that, if I may.
yeah, by all
Yeah.
means.
Yeah, this was just a waffle stomp, man. Um,
Not the
so
waffle.
yeah, not even Waffle House. This was actually no Waffle House. This is Waffle House, 2 in the morning. The best staff is there. They're ready to work. You are there with your uh beginning stages of a hangover, and they got you. That's this kind of waffle. This is kind of the waffle stomp that was given here, because Jesus, Jade this is, I think, the most dominant and probably the best looking I've seen Jade since she's been in WWE. Um, I know they kept going on and on about Tiffany being injured, but this was just an ass whooping.
Yep.
Um,
And now I'm hungry because of all the Waffle House.
but this was just an ass whooping, a dominant, um, like predator stalking prey, like just
Yeah,
methodical, taking her time, watching her crawl to a rope while she like walked around the side and waited for her to get in her spot, and then just got back on her and went back to destruction. Like, this was uh crazy. Crazy to see. I don't know
yep,
where this Cargill has been, but if it takes her going quote unquote heel, because I still don't see the heel yet. I still don't see it yet. I still just see a chick who's just like had enough of this bullshit and is ready to get a belt. I don't see heel. But if that's where
yeah,
she's going, if that's what it takes for her to get in that ring and look the way she did tonight, then I am all in. I'm drinking all of the Jade Kool-Aid.
yeah.
This
I
this
fully
was a
agree.
good match. I know that it was a stump, and I normally don't like to see the superstars get just stumped, but they made it clear that she was injured over and over again, so I don't feel too bad.
Yeah,
I don't feel too bad.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Um, the other thing that they made clear, though, and they said it again on SmackDown, and they reiterated it with that Nick Aldis segment, is that she didn't have to have this fight. She insisted upon it, though. So
Yeah.
you get what you get then, right? Like if Nick Aldis comes up to you and is asking for sure if you're physically and mentally ready and you're like, I am, I know you're just doing your job, but shut up, I'm a fighting champion. Well, then you get what you get.
You know what
Um
I wish they had done though? I wish somebody
mm,
had, because I mean they're selling Tiffy, right? They're selling the fact that she's not a quitter, that she's gonna go out there and give it 100 or whatever. But I wish that they had also sold her opponent, sell Jade a little. Are you sure that you can do this? We're talking about Jade Cargill right now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
she's.
Yeah. I don't disagree, but given that it was a relatively short exchange, I think that was as much as they could squeeze in out
I
of it,
feel you.
or at
Yeah,
least what they chose to, because she was real curt with Nick, like,
yeah,
you can
yeah.
shut the
She
fuck up,
was.
I'm ready.
That's true.
Um, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is a great showing for Cargill, on several fronts. Not just because the way the match was produced that she was going to dominate here, but that she was actually able to pull it off. Because we've had
Yes.
that
Yeah.
issue with Jade. She, like, her look is great, everything else about her is great. We've been shaky on her in ring work, and this was not that. Like, they looked, it was solid. Like, I don't think I remember Stratton getting off anything other than maybe fighting Cargill off her for a few moments.
Yeah.
But for the most part, this was just Cargill throwing Stratton around like a rag doll for most of the match, and she hit some real pretty moves. Like, she went for the choke slam and didn't do the stupid face lick. I fucking loved it, and it was a great looking choke
Yeah.
slam. It looked better than Tala Tonga's last couple of choke slams, that's for sure. And then she hit some like a string of freaking fall away slams and
Yep.
like some big ass power bombs. In fact, the close to the match was so dominant and so decisive that I feel like it's like there's no doubt in anyone's mind who won that match. It wasn't even close. It wasn't a good battle or a give and take. This was Cargill just kicking the holy shit out of Tiffany Stratton and then taking her belt and being the new champion. Like that finish where she hit two power bombs back to back and then just drilled her with Jaded for the perfect
Yeah.
clean finish was absolutely chef's kiss for how that needed to go.
Yeah.
This match was really good and I was pleasantly surprised because I went into it a little iffy, right? Because Tiffany
Yep.
Stratton and Jade Cargill have been cornerstones in some bad finishes and some poor matches before. So I'm
Yeah.
like, how's this gonna go? And it went great. It went really great. This was probably one of the most dominant and best showings. I think you said this, and I'm agreeing with you, for Jade Cargill since she's been in WWE.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I was thrilled to pieces by it, even though we did predict that this was probably going to be Cargill winning.
yeah.
I was.
Now
Go
I
ahead. Go ahead.
know. I know that I was saying, yeah, yeah, I want Cargill to win, because I mean this is the third or fourth time that this shit was gonna happen. And if she wasn't gonna win it this time, then what are we doing with Jade, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And how are we gonna book her as dominant if we keep having her job to somebody like repeatedly? Like, so something's got to give here. We can't just keep saying inexperience, 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 right? Eventually, ruthless aggression, right? So I mean, we got to see something else. So I'm liking
Yeah.
that,
And
but just
inexperience
because.
can't go on for like 2-3 years.
Exactly my point. Yes. Um, but just because I wanted the belt off of Tiffany doesn't mean that I want her to fade away. I want them to do something else with her. Just like I feel like they're finding their zone with Jade. They've had Tiffy for how long? Find her stride, man. Find her zone. Find what makes her feel good, like you've done with Rhea. Uh, and then bring her back. Quit putting, like let her go back, rebrand, rework, take a few months or whatever, a couple of months, whatever it is she needs, and then bring her back. Just don't squash her now, because I feel like that's a waste too. She's not bad. She's not crap
Yeah.
in the ring. Don't
No.
don't just shit on her. You know what I mean? And don't put her in a tag team and then make her vanish either, because I know you motherfuckers are good at that shit too. So don't do any of that. Just
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly here too. Because I think what happened was Tiffany was doing okay up until she became the champion. And then
yeah,
once she moved on from anyone other than Nia Jax, I think she got in over her head. And it just kept spiraling downward for her. Like everything after her cash in at Money in the Bank just didn't go anywhere or it was bad. And I feel like that caught her in a tailspin because clearly I think nerves get to her still. And I think the
hmm,
pressure of being the champion and then, you have a bad match and that whole situation with Charlotte was abysmal around WrestleMania. And I don't think she's been able to pull out of that tailspin. And I do
yeah,
think it starts to become a self fulfilling prophecy because you worry even more that you're going to fuck it up because you did fuck it up. And now you set the stage to fuck it up again. And I feel like that was what we were repeatedly seeing. And so her dropping the title here is probably for the best because this title run was tail spinning her into the ground. So
yeah,
I agree with you. I think they need to, you know, send Stratton back to the drawing board or give her a fucking minute or something. Like, because I feel like she was overwhelmed and she needs to regroup and come back better. So that's
yeah,
what I'm hoping to see. Like, I can be very critical when the wrestlers are screwing stuff up. I'm sure I've been critical of Tiffany Stratton here, but I really would like to see her make a comeback.
yeah,
Um, so I'm in complete agreement. I hope that's what they're able to do with her, and we end up with a fantastic wrestler that's in there instead of her reverting back to her shell or not recovering from this, just this one bad run. You fumbled the ball, but get back in the game. You know what? Like
yeah.
you're still pretty young too, so like stick with it. Um, And I'm with you. I don't want her to turn into a jobber just because she lost here. I mean, she lost to Jade Cargill. That doesn't make her a jobber. So, um, but I'm excited to see where we go with this because that's another one. Like we've been waiting to see how is Cargill going to do when she gets the ball. You know, I'm hoping that she can rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely interested in the futures of both of these women because I think we have some great wrestling that could come from both of them.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
because if this match on Saturday night's main event is any indication, I mean, damn, this was a surprising ass whooping by Cargill, and it was
True.
good. It was real good. Like this
Yeah,
is what we came to see with Cargill. She comes out there looking like Storm or Wonder Woman. She's built like a superhero. She is like the lady version of Drew McIntyre, except they actually put the belt on her. Um,
yeah,
so this is what we expect to see, and that's good. Sometimes you don't if you make it constant that you subvert expectations, then those become the new expectations, and these are out of line with someone this jacked and this ass kicking. Like, it's weird that they would lose all the time. It starts to feel like you've got a vendetta out against like the ones that look like the winners instead of
yeah.
actually letting them be the winners. Um, so this was good. I was real pleased by this match and pleasantly surprised because this was the one I was going into thinking, this could go bad. And it didn't. It
Yeah,
went off without a
yeah.
hitch. And congratulations to the new women's champ, Jade Cargill. Well done.
Well done indeed. Excuse me.
And after that, somewhere in there, they decided to let us know that amongst other people, Post Malone is in the crowd. And then for the remainder of the night, he is the avatar of the crowd there in Utah. Like they just show Post Malone having the time of his damn
Yes.
life
Yeah.
watching this wrestling. So that was pretty good because he looked sincerely invested. Like he looked like a real fan, not just like, here's the celebrity that we're trying to like, name drop on you. Like he really looked like he was having a good time.
Yeah.
But continuing with the non-stop action, we are brought to our third match of the night, which is Dirty Dominic Mysterio defending his WWE Intercontinental Championship against both Penta and Rusev in a triple threat match. And we were coming into this. I think my prediction was if it does move, it's going to Penta, but more likely than not, it's Dominic retains. And I think we were proven accurate.
Yeah.
And it was still, even with that prediction, I was still sitting there thinking, man, I am dying to see how Mysterio is going to pull this one out because it's Penta and Rusev. Like, that's no joke to have to
Yeah.
fight against. So going into this match, leading off, if you don't mind, with my thoughts on this match, I felt like this was fantastic. Um,
Mm.
a really good match despite our predictions. I could have used a wee bit more actual wrestling from Dom because
Yes.
most of what he did was gimmicky stuff, and the actual wrestling came from like Penta and Rusev. But of the two major spots in which he quote unquote cheated, I loved both of them. I love the fact that he brings a chair in there and then tosses it to Rusev, hoping that the ref will disqualify him, seeming to forget that in a triple threat match, it's no DQ. So all he did was hand Rusev a chair to beat his ass with, which Rusev then obliges and proceeds to beat the crap out of him with the chair.
Yeah.
And so he ends up rolling out of the ring. And then later, using the ring bell that the ref did not call for, but he made it sounded like they rang the bell, and that fools Rusev into letting Penta out of the Accolade submission hold. And the ref is sitting there going, "No, dude, you didn't win." And he's like, Rusev's like, "I heard the bell." And then we turn and look, and it's Mysterio with the little hammer. Oh, that was fantastic. So yeah, this was a really fun match. This scratched the itch for what I wanted to see, which was how is Dominic going to pull a fast one here, and I felt very good about it. This was
Yeah.
another really good match. If please, what were your thoughts on this one?
I thought this was the fun match, and I'm like, normally the fun match is the match that's like, meh, but no, this was fun and good. Um, excuse me. I was hoping that either Dominic retained or Penta won. But I didn't think necessarily that they would give the belt to a new champion in a three-way because that I can't remember a time where that's actually happened. Um, so I figured that Dominic would win. I figured that he would retain. But like you, I was waiting to see how he was gonna how he was gonna get out of this. And inevitably, um he didn't necessarily cheat. Um like he ended up winning because Penta was gonna hit him in the head with the hammer, and Dominic ducked and Rusev got it. So
Yes,
so technically all he did was take hold of an
capitalized.
opportunity. Yeah, that's all he did. He capitalized on an opportunity and got a pin. So, you can't be too mad at him. But they continue to make not only Dominic Mysterio an entertaining physical comedian. His timing is good. And he just keeps getting better and better in the ring. His in-ring work is chef's kiss. Um, like we talk about the future of WWE, it's in the palm of Dominic Mysterio's hands. Like, as long as he stays in good health, as long as he continues to train and continue to be the best at what he does in the ring, the dedication, the hard work, as long as that happens, then yeah, this dude has a long promising future at any promotion he decides to work for, or
To work in. Yeah.
yeah. um So yeah,
I agree. I
and
agree wholeheartedly.
an absolute delight. This match was probably one of my favorites just because of the storytelling. Just because
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio he reminds me so much of Eddie. We all know that that's on purpose. I mean, I'm not saying that they're forcing him to behave this way. I just believe that this is Dominic. Um and it's very refreshing to see, but he is also just so damn good. He just keeps getting better. Like he is
Yeah.
a really good wrestler.
I agree. Unironically, I would actually say that for 2025, Dom should either win like most improved or maybe even wrestler of the year.
Mm,
Because if you recall, not all that long ago, Dominic was in a position where he was being booed like out of the arena. Like he couldn't say a word. Like it was a
mhm.
thing to boo him into the floor until he started getting over. And suddenly we hear people chanting dirty, dirty Dom, dirty, dirty Dom because he won them over legitimately. And you couple that with the fact that his in-ring work has been getting better and better, and this like relatively recent stint of him like pulling off these fantastic like creative cheat wins, a la his uncle Eddie Guerrero, and he's leaning full into that. He's over right now.
Yeah,
Like the crowd really cheers for Mysterio. Like I know you want him to be Dirty Dom the heel, but he gets a face reaction from the crowd. They are cheering for him.
yeah.
Um
He gets an Eddie reaction.
Yeah. So I think 2025 has been a breakout year for Dominic Mysterio, to be
Yeah.
perfectly honest. So I mean it when I say like most improved or even in the list of candidates for wrestler of the year for 2025, Dominic Mysterio. And I
Yeah.
think they even gave out a stat that he's got like the most championship defenses of anybody on the roster. Which blows my mind. That's impressive. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Mysterio's putting in that work. Even if you don't care for the way he wins his matches, he is winning them, and he is the double champ, and he has, as a performer, really come into his own.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really high praise for young Dominic Mysterio. He's got a storied and long future, even though he's already got a storied and relatively accoladed present, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he jokingly says he's already been in the business for 20 years. And I mean, yeah, kinda, but he's it's good. And this was a really fun, like basically mid match, middle of the
Yeah.
pack match. I mean, where
Yeah.
it was on the card, not how it
Right.
was. It
Right.
was actually a very, very good match. There was some crazy shit. Like there was a really big Mexican destroyer done to Dominic Mysterio by Penta that was like insane looking. Um, but yeah, fantastic match this one.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, moving on from that, we are brought to our main event of Saturday night's main event. It was about a 2-hour show, so 4 matches across those 2 hours, with plenty of room for each match to breathe and tell their stories. We are brought to CM
Wait.
Punk.
Hold
Hmm?
on. Before you do that, I was gonna ask you, like legit. I was going to ask you, what do you think about the way, because right before we got to the main event, the fourth match, which is what you're talking about. We got a preview of an interview that John Cena had with somebody, but we also find out how he is planning to get his last competitor.
Oh yes, yeah, yep.
What do you think about that? The what is it, like a 16-man tournament that's starting?
That's exactly
Uh,
what it is. Yeah.
yeah. Started in 2 weeks on Monday Night Raw. Yep, there we go. A
Yeah.
16-man tournament. What do you think about that?
I think that is a really cool way to, even though John Cena, I mean, his last match in and of itself has some weight, right? But he doesn't have a belt or anything. So a tournament to determine his final opponent, I think, is a really cool way to give some extra weight to that final match that John
You
Cena is
know,
going to have.
you know what really got me there? What really got me was he made mention that it would be competitors from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then he says, and some performers that don't work for WWE.
Yeah, that
What?
caught my ear too. Like could they possibly come to a working agreement, maybe just for one time only, to have Edge and Cena meet for the final match?
What?
Because they said Edge, like in AEW, Edge had to go take a breather, right? Like he was like, "Look, I can't do this anymore," because Beth Phoenix was again at the center of an attack. And so maybe this is something they've been working out, and that would be monumental for a lot of reasons, not just how epic Edge versus Cena would be to close out Cena's career. That would be
Insane.
on another level. And Edge, if AJ and Cena was good, Edge and Cena is also going to be a moment in time. Like it
Insane.
just will. So I don't want to get my hopes up for something like that though. Like
Yeah.
what if it turns out that
Yes.
it's like somebody
Yeah.
from who they have a working relationship with at TNA, right? Like
Yeah.
what if his final match is against Joe Hendry, which would be phenomenal as well. But I don't want to see by saying suggesting Edge versus Cena now any other option sounds like not as good. So I don't necessarily want to pin that on there, especially how long shot of it is because WWE does not seem to want to work with AEW.
To dream
But I
the
mean, it could be cool.
impossible
Like what if it
dream.
was somebody who is wrapping up a run in AEW, like Chris Jericho?
I mean, I guess, yeah, sure.
Well, I'm just saying, like that opens up so many possibilities. Although it does kind of make me think, like, if you're gonna stick someone in there that doesn't work there and it's not like from TNA, who they have a working relationship with, um, it almost makes me think that like they're going to win because that would be the wild card, right? Like that
Seriously,
would be
yeah.
we really want to see that. Like when else would we ever get to see this? It's his last time. So, but yeah, he mentioned it's going to be all from like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and even performers that don't work at WWE anymore or didn't at the time. Um, so
So,
I'm
yeah.
real curious about that. Like I'm very eager to see that, and I think it's a neat way. Like I know he's like, look, it's not handpicked, it's earned. Yes, but also they pick who wins these things, so it would still be handpicked. But um, it's a neat way to go about this, and I'm really pretty excited for it. And
Yeah.
I think that really raises the interest level. Like, I mean, I'm not saying people weren't interested already, but I think this gives a little extra weight to his final match and who will be the one who faces him. And I think that's good. I think it's really good because I mean he doesn't have a title belt anymore or anything that you could try and peel off of him or so I think that's a brilliant idea and I was really excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm
also
real
think we could
excited.
get some very epic matches in that 16-man tournament. I'm excited not just for the conclusion where we determine an opponent for Cena, but the matches leading up to it could end up being some bangers.
Yeah. I wonder
And
I
also
wonder I wonder if we're gonna get R-Truth in there at any point.
oh, that would be hilarious. Oh, if Ron Killing shows up and just like obliterates his way through this tournament to face off. See, but I mean, there's so many of those kinds of possibilities, right? Like we've just named 2 or 3. Like, what if it's Jericho, or what if it's Edge, or what if it's uh, Joe Hendry, or what if it's Ron Killings, aka R-Truth. Like you see how many interesting possibilities immediately present themselves. So this creatively, I think, is brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So, we got 2 weeks. And then it
Yeah.
starts. We'll find out.
But I do think this is a cool way to give a little extra oomph to the final match for John Cena, as well as some excellent matches leading up to. Um, so I'm real excited about that. I think that's a win creatively. I really do.
Yeah. I do not disagree. Now, following that, we got the fourth match of the night, the main event. CM Punk versus Jey Uso for the vacant WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep,
May
and
I?
this was definitely, yes, but just real quick, this
Mhm.
was definitely going to be at least one title change from vacant to not vacant that was going to
Right.
happen on this Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And by all
Now,
means, take it away.
now I believe that I originally said without a doubt CM Punk was going to win this, and I think you agreed with me.
Yeah, I believe the
Um,
term was foregone conclusion.
yeah. What I did not expect, honestly, excuse me, and I'm being extremely honest. I did not expect for it to be an entertaining match. I didn't. Um, it's not that I don't enjoy watching Jey Uso in the ring. I do. I think he's entertaining. But I'm usually, for those who love him, forgive me, but I'm usually bored by CM Punk. Um, his moveset is kind of if we say that John Cena's moveset was repetitive, if he only had 5 moves or whatever, then I'm gonna say CM Punk has maybe 3. And he tries to pull off one of those within the first 30 seconds of any match. Um, and then we know that that's going to be usually the case for the rest of the match. That's it. Like all roads feel like it's him desperately trying to get to his finisher. Like everything is a GTS. Like that's like he's panicked and he feels like the only way he's gonna win this is to do this move because he tries it so many times. Aside from that, however, I ended up finding this match entertaining, and not just because of Jey Uso, but also CM Punk. I think he did a decent job, and I think he worked very well with Jay. Like I feel like they did a pretty good job with each other in the ring. Um, uh, and that's yeah. I had to go. I was about to say that there was a moment where Jay did a dive outside or from the inside of the ring to the outside onto CM Punk, and I was about to say something negative about that, but no, I think I am remembering incorrectly because I think that CM Punk was in place and caught him just fine. So yeah, they worked very well together, and this match ended up being better than I thought it was going to be. Like I was actually invested even though I knew the ending. Like my idea did not change. I still felt that CM Punk was going to win it, and I felt that he deserved to at this point. Honestly, at this there was no time like this was his moment. There is no reason for them to try to come up with a way to keep him away from the belt because Seth was injured, and even to make sure that somebody couldn't say, well, Seth is injured, but doesn't he have the vision? They broke Seth up from the vision so that they can move their storyline separate and away from this. So this was the time, the moment, the opportunity. Seth keeps his hatred boner storyline alive and well for CM Punk, and CM Punk finally gets the belt. So this was the time, and
Indeed.
for everybody who who everybody who was upset that Jay was his opponent. I'm not sure why. Whoever was going to go against CM Punk would have lost the match. I personally didn't want LA Knight to lose another match or another attempt for a fucking belt. This is
Yep.
kind of this is kind of new for Jay because Jay just had the belt, right? So this is his first real go at attempting to get the belt back. That's different. LA Knight, this would have been like his third attempt at a fucking belt run. Like, no, guys, no. I think they made the right move and put the heat on LA Knight and Breaker for against each other for right now because that makes more sense. So Jay, look, he lost this and and people still freaking love him. He's gonna come out Monday or Friday or whenever the fuck he comes out, and people are gonna lose their shit and eat all over the place. It does not affect his popularity or what people think he can do in the ring. So I think it was the right move for them to pick him over LA Knight. But that's just my opinion. But back to the match again. Great match actually. I thought it was really that was really good, great main event. Um, because it was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And CM Punk, I feel, did a great job. I feel like both men showed up and gave us some crazy, interesting moves from both.
I completely agree. Um, Here's what we got right. We knew Punk would win.
Yeah,
Here's what I said that I got wrong. I said I wasn't particularly interested. When you have a foregone conclusion, all you can really hope for is a great in-ring performance. And I said I don't suspect Punk and Jay will give us a great in-ring performance. And I was
yeah,
dead fucking wrong about that.
yeah.
This
I
was an
agreed with you.
absolute fucking banger.
Yeah.
This, and it hurts me inside to say it, but CM Punk and Jey Uso gave us match of the night. This was not just the main event, this was the best match on the card. And this is on an evening of all good matches.
Yeah.
Um this was the match. It was tremendous. Like it didn't matter that we strongly had basically decided that Punk was going to win because it was such enough false finishes and back and forth between these two where they just gave it to one another, left everything in the damn ring,
Yeah.
that it was still suspenseful. And it was a great match for the main event to close the show. I don't think Jey Uso looks bad for having been in that match. If anything, his cred went up, and so did CM Punk's. This was one of those matches where both guys looked better for having had it
Yeah.
because it was such a back and forth between the two of them where they hit him with everything, then
Yep.
the kitchen sink, and then they went and found some more shit to hit the other guy with. There was even like a built-in, or it looked built-in. If it wasn't built-in botch, then this was fantastic improvisation on these men's part. But there was a portion of the match where Jay initially takes a go to sleep because I think he took like four of them in that match. He takes a go to sleep near the end of the match and he falls on Punk's shoulders. And Punk goes to stand up, but Jay has apparently given it to him in this match enough that he stumbles and falls with Jay on his shoulders.
Yes.
And at
Yeah.
first, it looked like a screw up, but it pivoted so seamlessly into Jay Uso holding him in a sleeper hold that I'm inclined to think that was actually a planned stumble.
Yeah.
It was intentional.
Listen, if it wasn't, because I feel like it wasn't. I feel like that was an improvisational move by Jey Uso. And if that were the case, then I have to applaud both men for their fucking uh uh in ring IQ
Yes.
because because that was superb. I
Yeah,
honestly think that was a flub, and Jay just went with it, and so did CM Punk. And because I remember thinking, "Oh my fucking god, Chef's kiss, guys,
yeah.
Chef's
They
kiss."
they he it floated so seamlessly that whether it was planned or not doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
If it wasn't, then yes, these guys are aces in that ring. And if it
Yeah,
was, still aces because it looked cool. But yeah, Jay floats into the sleeper hold and everyone's just losing their shit. They're like, "Oh no, this is how he beat Gunter."
yeah,
And then after that, Punk counters into the Anaconda Vice, and now everyone's like, "Oh no, Jay's gonna tap!" And this
yep,
was just a killer match. And ultimately, it looked like Jay was gonna get the one up because he's just hitting Punk with a series of super kicks. And then Punk's on his knees, and Jay waits for him to rise up just enough to attempt the spear, gets a knee in the chest for the effort, and then a go to sleep. And then off that go to sleep, he once again bounces back onto Punk's shoulders. But this time, Punk stands up and delivers a second go to sleep. So it took like four go to sleeps to defeat Jey Uso here.
yeah,
And I mean, that was just me recounting the final moments of the match. I recommend strongly anybody who's interested to go
yeah.
watch this match. It was a classic that
They
these two
even
put on. They fought with everything they had, which gave this weight, even if you knew that Punk was
yeah,
going to win. It didn't matter. This was
yep.
suspenseful and amazing, and it improved what anyone might have been thinking about Jey Uso in the ring. And
I
it was a
agree.
good
Yes,
showing for CM Punk. And
yes.
so we conclude with your new World Heavyweight Championship after a slobber knocker of a match, CM Punk.
Yeah. They even did each other's moves.
They did. There was a brief exchange of Jay hitting the go to sleep and then Punk countering afterwards with a short spear.
Yeah. It was great, guys. It was great. Yeah.
Yep, it was a match that would have been impressive on any PLE, and it was certainly the match of the night here on Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And with that being said, that was basically the way they closed the show was CM Punk celebrating with his new championship belt.
Mhm.
Um, that said, how would you rate Saturday night's main event?
I feel that I feel they've redeemed themselves. This I'd give this an 8.5. You know what? I'm gonna give it an 8.5 Nick Nubs. And I'm gonna do that. The extra five is because I was so thoroughly impressed with CM Punk's work in the ring tonight. I got no shit to give him. Like absolutely no shit to give him tonight.
No,
Um
Punk
uh
Punk did great.
he fucking delivered, and Jey Uso delivered, and the extra five is for just CM Punk and that really crazy, perhaps maybe impromptu, sleeper that Jey Uso put on him like that. It just chef's kiss, guys. Just wonderful. I could not be happier. Definitely 8.5 Nick Nubs. Fantastic, top tier.
Nice, nice. All right. I'm inclined to agree with you. We're very close. First and foremost, it looks like Saturday night's main event is back on the menu. This show was first and foremost better for the lack of Joe Tessitore and Jesse Ventura.
Oh yeah, thank you for that.
Yep. And second, this was PLE level, and a good one, right? Not a crap one like WrestlePalooza. Like this was a
Yeah,
good quality. Like this is paid live event special.
yeah,
And even though you and I successfully predicted the outcomes of all of these matches, the matches themselves were all very good.
yep,
I would say probably one of the weaker matches on the night, honestly, was Cody and Drew, and that was still a very good match. It's
yeah,
just that everything else was very better, with more surprises and more twists and turns.
yeah.
Um,
I think because Drew and Cody's match felt safer. It felt safe. It felt like they took the safe way out again with
yeah,
Cody and with Drew, and they just keep doing that. And I think that's the biggest issue is the storyline, but the match itself was good.
Yes, I completely agree with you in that regard for sure.
Yeah.
So for me, I already had this at an 8.5 and it's pushing to a 9.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this one was really good because the more I think about it, the more I'm pleasantly surprised. There is a pleasantly surprised factor, right? Because I went in with the lowest of expectations because Saturday night's main event for the last 3 showings were absolute dog shit. And
Yeah.
so this is such a great return to form, and there were so many wonderful little things that happened in this. Like I was pleasantly surprised. Like I legitimately have no criticism of CM Punk
Mm-mm.
in his showing here. I mean, it was just really good. Um, and Jay Uso showed up. Dominic Penta Rusev was just a treat to watch. Like that was just purely entertaining, and I was thrilled that Jade Cargill pulled the belt off Stratton because Stratton's belt run wasn't going anywhere, and we can only see Cargill versus Stratton and it not do something other than what it's done so many times. So I was thrilled, and Cargill hit everything just like she was supposed to. She even threw a really wicked choke slam without licking anybody first, which is just dumb.
Yeah.
Um, it was just good. It fired everything that I was worried might not be great turned out to be better than I thought. So this was an absolute return to form for Saturday night's main event and just quality wrestling on any night from everybody who performed. So
Yeah.
this is definitely top tier.
So is it 8.5 or was it 9 or what was your?
I think I'm going to push it to a 9 because you made a great case for it being an 8.5. And then I added that there was a
Mhm.
lack of Joe Tessitore and Jesse Ventura. That's worth
That's
half a
true.
point.
That you're absolutely
So,
right. Yeah.
this bumps to a 9. This was a really good special.
Yeah.
Saturday night's main event is back on the menu. It has, like you said, redeemed itself in my eyes. So, giving WWE the benefit of the doubt that they're turning things around since Saturday night's main events in the past were not so great and WrestlePalooza was not so great. I'm going to hope that they continue on this trend of like being as good as we know they can be and being as good as someone who charges as much for the ticket price and as
Okay.
the industry
Yep.
leader, the biggest name who's been here for 40 plus years. I mean, this is what we expect.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they have to be excellent or they suck, but they definitely should never suck. It should be somewhere between good or outstanding for the WWE with as much money as they have and talent and just being the biggest dog in the pro wrestling yard, that kind of stuff. So this definitely was what I expect from WWE. This is WWE shining at its best.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, that has been our review of Saturday night's main event, and that is from November 1st. And I want to thank everybody who has listened for this episode, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And I invite you to listen for our next episode, which should be our coverage of Monday Night Raw. We did get a chance to take a look at SmackDown, but with timing and everything, we decided to cover Saturday night's main event. But know that SmackDown was also very, very good. It would probably be a top tier rating from us. So SmackDown also looks like it has turned around. I'll just make a quick special mention that like the MFTs are looking much, much more dominant, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing. And the goings on with the Intercontinental Champion Ilya Dragunov are very interesting as well. But yeah, having said all that, I don't think there's anything left for me to do but roll the outro.
Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Top Tier Wrestling. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the latest AEW and WWE news and shows. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. Follow us on social media for updates and to join the conversation. Until next time, everyone, remember, wrestling is always better when it's top tier.